Good morning, uh, business finance class. We're on to project 2 a little bit. Of course, you're continuing to work on your weekly assignments and quizzes. Um, I may have gotten a little behind on project 2, and that's my fault for not checking the calendar. Shame on me. Um, I, the choose a company was due, and many of you had already submitted that. Maybe that's why I kind of got a little bit behind, but I'll go through those. I'll try to get after that um, and make comments or give you some feedback about those choices. The one point to emphasize, and if you've submitted one, you can change just about any time during this particular project, especially the first few weeks. If you want to change for whatever reason, feel free to just let me know. Um, but the main thing, like with project 1, is try to keep it simple. And by that, I mean choose a company that has a pretty focused business plan, for lack of a better word, or business operation. Doesn't mean they have to be small, although small ones are sometimes better. What do I mean by focused? There are huge conglomerates. Disney, a lot of people like to choose Disney, but Disney's got theme parks, they've got movies, they're into a dozen other things, and to analyze that in a 5-page paper might be a little bit difficult. General Electric would be another one that would be difficult. As would Berkshire Hathaway, one of my favorite companies. It's nothing but a conglomerate. It has, I think they outright own 65 or 70 businesses, plus have investments in many others. Those are the ones you kind of want to stay away from. Also stay away from any what I would foreign businesses. While they may be listed and we may be able to buy stock in them or buy shares in those companies here on U.S. exchanges, the information that we're going to get may not be subject to the same oversight that information for American companies is. So for this project, again, I'm just trying to make it easier for you. Choose a company that's kind of focused and that is an American company. Big companies. I've had students do Apple. Apple's starting to get more diverse. They're getting into a lot of cloud services and whatnot, and more services as opposed to just selling the phones and the iPads and the Macs and those things. Up until now, I might have said Apple's okay because it was primarily a product company, but it's really starting to change its focus. So, gives you an idea kind of what you're looking at, I guess. On the other hand, pick a company like Ford. Fine, Ford's a big company, but they primarily still make cars. Caterpillar, same thing, a big company. John Deere, a big company, but they primarily make their money by making big equipment. So gives you an idea of what I want you to look for. Then this part of the assignment was to try and find the ticker symbol for your particular company. And I haven't looked at everybody that has submitted something, but if you go to one of the search engines, Bing or DuckDuckGo or Google, I tend to sometimes use DuckDuckGo. Sometimes you can just find the ticker symbol that way by saying, let's see, ticker symbol. Yeah, there's maybe even one that says lookup. Yeah, search for ticker symbols. Yeah, Yahoo, okay. We'll give that a try. I was just going to type in a company name because it probably would have found it. Search for news, symbols, or company. So let's just, let's say my company is Microsoft. Look at that. It gives it to me there. And this is the main one. A lot of times if you have dots and those other things, this is how it's listed in, I'm not sure where NEO is, Germany, Mexico, that could be Singapore, I'm not sure. Okay, so they're listed on other exchanges, and so it shows up there. But this would be the one then that you would want. So we have MSFT is the ticker symbol. That's your answer. I know there's a few other questions that are on there as well, and we'll take a look at those. But I'm going to go back because oftentimes just in the search engine you could type in ticker symbol for, let's do John Deere. Deere and Company in parentheses, the DE in this case. This takes me to the Yahoo Finance, and Yahoo Finance is fine. You can find a good deal of information on here. Market Watch, same thing. DE, probably for Deere, is what theirs is. Okay. If you have troubles finding your ticker symbol, let me know. Okay. I've experienced this quite a bit, and so I'm usually pretty able to find those things. So I'm going to pause for a second. I want to see what else is on this particular assignment, and make sure I answer all the relevant questions. Yeah, there we go. So under the, let's go to that, under the Project 2, if you come down and you open up this Project 2 introduction, it kind of has what the ticker symbol assignment is. And so in addition to finding the ticker symbol, and you guys can read through this, and it gives you different sites that you can go to. By the way, if you hover over that with your finger on the control tab, then it would open up, take you to that open site. So it says find the ticker symbol, which I kind of just went through, and then it says tell me the company's last closing price. So if we come back here and let's go, we'll use the Yahoo Finance. It's not my favorite, but it's reasonably good. So in this case, this is what it's doing today. And so when I say closing price, that would usually be closing at the end of the day. If I wanted to find that, I could actually come over here. It's a little bit difficult, but I would say that it opened this morning at 361.21, it looks like, and I could do the math here. Yeah, that looks like you'd have to add those together, right? 360 something. So, I'll bet you it says 360.02 if I actually do the math. So it's this gray one over here. That was the closing price as of yesterday. Scroll down a little bit, Byron. It tells you right here, previous close. So what I do in the assignment is I'd say close as of 2/28 because that was yesterday's, $360.02. Okay, I'm not concerned what date you do it, but do something that's kind of reasonable. I'll take a glance at it and make sure that you're in the ballpark. Okay. Then it also asks for, tell me the company's PE ratio, and that's price to earnings ratio is what that means. And so our price here is about $350, let's call it. Earnings per share about $18. It looks like we're going to be at about a 20. Okay, is the price to earnings ratio, but it tells me. Okay. And that's the PE ratio. The TTM means trailing 12 months. So that's the last 12 months of earnings compared to today's price, or in this case, probably yesterday's price. Okay, so that's fine. My answer for that particular question, and then it'd be 19.62, and you might put TTM in there. Sometimes you'll see, and I have to be cautious when I correct these because sometimes they'll do a forward-looking price to earnings ratio, or they'll do a last calendar year price to earnings ratio. So sometimes they can be a little bit different. Okay, and I get that, and so I try to be pretty cognizant when I'm taking a look at those things. And then lastly, it just asks you to tell me the company's previous year's earnings per share. Gosh, actually, this Yahoo one's working pretty good for this assignment. So, and again, this is earnings per share. That's trailing 12 months. That's fine. If you use that one, just put the TTM behind that, if you would, for me, because I might also tend to take a look at these and look at what the last year, and companies have different year ends, so we also have to be kind of cognizant of that. It looks like their year end might be October. I got to see if they have it down here. Balance sheet, income statement. Nope, it's basic earnings per share. I'm sorry, there it is, as of 10/31 of 2020. So they haven't even maybe necessarily reported their year end for 2021. They should be there, but it might be a little bit late. So if I went all the way back, and you might have to in some cases, okay, corporations can have different year ends. They don't necessarily operate on a calendar year end. In this case, it looks to me like, our John Deere's is October. We don't see what their 2021 is yet, but if I put basic earnings per share of $8.77 for year ended, that's what I'd put on the assignment, 10/31 of 2020. That's going to be fine. That's going to be a correct answer at this point in time. These may come out tomorrow, who knows, so it may change. Okay, and yours will probably, let's look at another company just for the heck of it. One that maybe has a calendar year end. That's not what I wanted. Let's do Glacier Bank, Montana, good Montana company. I think they've got a calendar year end. There you go, but their finances, let's take a look at that. 12/31 of 21, right? So just recently. Again, not reported yet. So I might have to go back to 12/31 of 2020. Okay, this one makes more sense that it's not reported. Usually they get reported within the first 3 months. So they'll be reporting here in March what their year end was. We can get to some better figures too that'll actually have this information. And this is probably why I said I'm not real fond of Yahoo. In this case, it doesn't get as detailed as we want. As we go a little bit further on this assignment, this project, I'll give you some better sites that'll give us some more up-to-date information. So that's it for that first ticker symbol assignment. Thanks and good luck.